What should you add to the water right after opening your pool? Whether you've got cloudy water or algae, or the water looks pretty clear, you'll want to add these chemicals in the following order. 1. Shock. 2. Alkalinity increaser. 3. pH increaser or decreaser. 4. Chlorine. 5. Chlorine stabilizer. And 6. Calcium hardness increaser. These are the normal chemicals that you should have on hand anyway. That means you don't need to go out and buy a pre-packaged pool opening kit to start up your pool. By the way, I'm Matt from Swim University, and I've been helping people take care of their pools for over 30 years. And I know that getting your pool water ready for swimming can feel a little overwhelming. Luckily, you don't have to buy special chemicals to clear it up, and you can use what you already have on hand. All you need to do is add them in the right way and in the right order. But before you add anything to the water, you'll need to clean your pool surfaces. Remove as much debris from the water as possible and loosen up any algae clinging to your pool walls and your floor. And skim out any leaves with a skimmer net. Brush your pool floor, walls, and steps, and make sure that your skimmer basket and your pump basket are clear of debris. And backwash and clean your filter. Then you can start running your pump and getting those contaminants circulating so that your chemicals can start treating them. Next, make sure that you have the right chemicals on hand. Here's what you need. Alkalinity increaser, or baking soda, pH increaser, or soda ash, pH decreaser, or muriatic acid, chlorine shock like Cal Hypo Shock or liquid chlorine, and a regular sanitizer like chlorine granules or tablets. You may also need chlorine stabilizer, also known as cyanuric acid or CYA, and calcium hardness increaser, and pool grade salt if you have a saltwater pool. These are all the chemicals that you need on hand for maintaining your pool anyway, so you really don't need to go buy a pre-packaged pool startup kit. They're convenient, but they usually come with chemicals that aren't really necessary like clarifiers and algicides. Shocking your pool and balancing the water right after opening is usually enough. So step number 1 is test your water. Test strips are the easiest way to get a high-level snapshot. Now, liquid test kits are more accurate, but they can be harder to use. If after testing your water you notice that your pH is totally out of range, adjust it before adding shock. You can just technically dump in shock into the water without bothering to adjust anything, but getting your pH in range helps your chlorine to work more effectively so you won't waste any shock. Your pH can be on the lower side, like 7.2 to 7.4, since chlorine shock is going to bump up your pH a little bit. Depending on your test results, add pH decreaser or increaser to the water with your pump and filter running, and let this circulate for at least 20 minutes before retesting the water. Now, if you're not confident with testing the water or adjusting your levels based on the test results, we have an entire chemistry section in the Pool Care Handbook. It covers everything that you need to know about water chemistry, like how to read test strips and how to troubleshoot tricky levels. Check it out at swimu.com/book or by using any of the links below. Step number 2, add shock. Shocking your pool quickly raises its chlorine levels, which helps kill contaminants, algae, and bacteria that have built up in the off season. Now, if you've just filled your pool with completely fresh water, you can skip shocking. Otherwise, if you're opening a pool with water in it, you're definitely going to need to shock. Now, what type of shock should you use? Cal Hypo Shock is the most powerful option and the most effective at killing algae. But if your pool is less than 10,000 gallons, you can use liquid chlorine instead, since it's easy to overchlorinate a small pool. Now, if you have a saltwater pool, you can use liquid chlorine or dichlor shock, since Cal Hypo Shock can cause calcium buildup in your salt cell. Now, a standard dose of shock is 1 pound of Cal Hypo Shock or 1 gallon of 12% concentrated liquid chlorine for every 10,000 gallons of water. The amount of shock you need depends on the color of your water. So for a cloudy blue or a light green water, use a double dose of shock. For dark green water, use a triple dose of shock. And for really dark or black green water, add a quadruple dose of shock. Now, if it's really bad, you may need to do a second round of shocking. And I'm curious, what color is your pool water normally when you open it? Let me know in the comments and what you've done to treat it. So when you're adding shock, add it around the edge of your pool with the pump and filter running on the filter setting. Now, you may need to pre-dissolve the shock in water first, depending on what kind of shock you're using. If not, you can brush the shock around so it doesn't settle on the pool floor. Then you can run your pump and filter for 12 to 24 hours to help it circulate. The sun can quickly destroy shock's chlorine, so I recommend adding it at dusk and letting it work overnight in the water. Check your water after a day. If it's cloudy, that's okay. That's just dead suspended contaminants that the shock treated. Your filter is going to remove those later. Before adding the next round of chemicals, do a quick clean of your filter by backwashing or rinsing the cartridges and brush any spots on the pool floor that you may have missed. Step number 3, add alkalinity increaser, pH increaser, or pH decreaser. Now you're ready to balance the water. All right, so retest the water, then adjust your total alkalinity and your pH in that order. Adjusting your total alkalinity first will help stabilize your pH. Your total alkalinity should be between 80 and 120 parts per million, and your pH between 7.4 and 7.6. You can start by adjusting your total alkalinity by adding alkalinity increaser or pH decreaser, because there's actually no such thing as alkalinity decreaser. You want to let this circulate for 20 minutes. Then retest your water. Since these two levels go hand in hand, your pH may have changed after adjusting your alkalinity. Finally, you can add pH increaser or pH decreaser depending on your pH levels. Now, these two levels go hand in hand, and balancing one can affect the other. So if you're having trouble balancing your pH and your alkalinity, or you need help with dosages, you can check out our other video about fixing high or low pH, or the chemistry troubleshooting guides in the Pool Care Handbook. Step number 4, add chlorine. Your chlorine level should be between 1 and 3 parts per million, with 3 parts per million being ideal. If they're already in range or they're too high after shocking your water, don't add more chlorine right now. But you'll want to test these levels again the next day and then set up any automatic chlorine dispenser in the meantime. Plan to add chlorine granules to the water or add chlorine pucks to a floater or your automatic chemical feeder at least once a week. And if you have a saltwater pool, you may want to add a little chlorine at this stage to help support your saltwater generator. Step number 5 is add chlorine stabilizer if you need it. Now, chlorine stabilizer is also known as cyanuric acid or CYA, and this helps your chlorine from breaking down in the sun. Now, if you're using dichlor chlorine granules or trichlorchlorine tablets to sanitize your water, they already contain CYA. If you have a saltwater pool or you use unstabilized chlorine, you need to add chlorine stabilizer. Your CYA should be between 30 and 50 parts per million. Step number 6 is add calcium hardness increaser if you need it. Your total calcium hardness levels protect your pool equipment and your surfaces in the long run. If it's low, you'll need to add calcium hardness increaser. Now, for vinyl liner or fiberglass pools, your levels should be between 175 and 225 parts per million. For concrete and plaster pools, your levels should be between 200 and 275 parts per million. Step number 7 is add salt if you have a saltwater pool. Finally, the last step for saltwater pool owners is to add salt and start up your saltwater generator. And check out our saltwater pool startup video if you need more help. And if you want more help with ongoing maintenance and easy weekly care, check out the Pool Care Handbook at swimu.com/book or by using any of the links below. That's it. Thanks for watching and happy swimming.